Hey Matt, it's Andrew again. I wanted to showcase a couple more bugs that I found in AudioHelm. So this one is pertaining to the sampler script. What I've done is I've opened a brand new Unity project and I've just imported AudioHelm and made no modifications to it. I loaded your piano sampler prefab into the scene just because it's very easy, but this will happen if you create your own as well because I've done this as well. And what I'm looking at here is just the default settings, right? Number of voices, velocity tracking max, and use note off checked. So the first thing that I want to demonstrate here is that use note off is not working. So the only thing that I've done to modify this is I've added a sample sequencer to the prefab, and of course that breaks the prefab, but that's all that I've done. Just drag and drop a sample sequencer onto the sampler. So now I'll just play a middle C. And we hear that it is not ending at the end of that 16th note. But note off is checked. And if I turn it on, we hear that it stops the sample. So it's clearly doing something, but it's only when it's being turned on when a sample is already playing. It is not actually turning off the note. So this is the first problem. And this builds on to the second problem that I've located. So first and most important thing is to get this note off functioning properly. So now what I'm going to demonstrate is related to the number of voices. So I'm just going to have a quick little arpeggio happening on just C's. And here now, what is happening is if I set the number of voices down from 8 to 2, as that is the minimum, now what's happening is when this note is triggered, a sample starts playing. When this note is triggered, another sample or another voice starts playing. And when this note is triggered, the first sample should stop, right? And then same here for this, and so on. So now, when I play this, because the note off is not functioning, what happens is we get an audible pop every time one of the samples is turned off. So if I play here now, so we can definitely hear an audible pop occurring between each of these. And that definitely does not sound good when working in your project in Unity, of course. Now, additionally, another thing that I wanted to point out here is the number of voices is set to 2 as a minimum. I understand the logic behind this, but because note off isn't working, this is very problematic because, for example, a clarinet cannot really play 2 notes at once. And so without the note off working, it is playing 2 notes at once, and that doesn't sound right. It sounds like there's 2 clarinet players, right? And in my use case, I want just 1 clarinet, right? So the audible pop, back to the audible pop. So I went looking around in the script, trying to locate maybe if you had programmed something around this, and I do see here that you end the sample early to prevent a click. And right here, this is the value that you have provided of 0.1 seconds. And I even modified this and brought it up to like 0.1 and then 0.5 in a different project. I haven't done this here just because I wanted to show you that I've just loaded in the sampler without any modifications. So now if I make the modification, I put it at 0.5, which is way too high, obviously, but I do it again. If that is working in the context here, of preventing these pops. It's just maybe the timing is too short in the script. If I do it here now, we still hear the audible pop. It's not actually fixing the issue. So those are some of the bugs that I have located. The use node off on the sampler script is not functioning, and when the number of voices is fairly low, because the node off is not functioning, we hear an audible pop when a voice is deactivated for the new voice coming in. And this is actually very problematic for the project that I'm working on right now, which uses a large number of sampled instruments. And yeah, it's really causing some issues. So thanks again, and hopefully we can get this fixed up.